Thank you very much. Hello, I'm Simon O'Brien and you're watching Do I Not Know That? If you haven't seen it before, where have you been? This is the show which puts the football supporter in the hot seat as their knowledge of the beautiful game is tested to the limit. Joining me today to see if they are up to the task are three more sides from Group 2. So without further ado, let's meet them. From Leicester City, we have Colin Hall, who's their player manager. His wingers are his brother Ian Hall and George Robinson, and their subs are Colin Richards and Chris Walker. From Manchester United, they're in town, the Red Devils. We have Paul Hinson, who's their captain. Either side of him, we have Carl Ladley and Chris Ryan, and their subs are Andrew Edwards and Billy Beckley. And from Wycombe Wanderers, undaunted by the illustrious opposition, we have Dale Hareman, who's their captain. His defence is made up by Ian Blackledge and Chris Waldron, and their subs are Ed Good and Joe Stevens. Say hello to the teams. So, we've met today's competitors, but before we get underway, how is this group shaping up?
Hi Simon. These three sides from Group 2 will be looking to get their campaigns off to a flying start and hope that they do not suffer from any pre-match nerves now that we're in the second group phase. United would have to go down as favourites due to their Premiership status, and it will be interesting to see how they cope with the threat of the Foxes and those choir boys.
Thanks very much, mate. If you want to know when and who your team are up against, then visit our website at www.itv.com/football. We start, as usual, with the home team round. Each team has 90 seconds to answer as many questions as possible on their own club. 1 point per correct answer, no conferring and no passing, so it is best to have a guess. I always say that, don't I, Leicester? Yes, and you never guess, because you know the answers, I'm sure. Ian, you'll be getting the first one, and your time starts now. Who was the only player to score for Leicester in this season's FA Cup?
Scowcroft.
Correct. Against which team was Muzzy Izzard sent off in December 2001?
Bolton.
Correct. Which club was Leicester goalkeeper Tim Flowers loaned out to in February 2002?
Stockport.
Coventry City. Stan Collymore only league goal for the Foxes last season came in a 2-0 win on which ground?
Stamford Bridge.
Correct. Against which country did Leicester player Gary Lineker score his first goal for England? It coming
Northern
up
Ireland.
That's it's Republic of Ireland. Who was in goal for Leicester when they lost the Coca-Cola Cup tie in October 1992 to Sheffield Wednesday 7-1?
Kevin Poole.
Russell Holt. Which veteran striker top scored for the club in league matches in 1999-2000 with 13 goals?
Tony Cotty.
Correct. Which current Premiership manager scored for Swindon Town against Leicester in the 1990s? Correct. Which man scored Leicester City's first ever goal in an FA Cup final?
Mal Griffiths.
Correct. Which man played in two of the Foxes FA Cup finals of the 60s and played in Leicestershire's County Cricket Championship win in 1975?
Graham Cross.
That's correct. Who in 1996 became the first man ever to captain the Foxes twice at Wembley?
Steve Walsh.
Correct. Which team, later to lose to the Foxes in an FA Cup semi-final, defeated Leicester in City's first semi-final appearance in 1934?
Portsmouth.
Correct. On their way to the FA Cup finals in the 1960s, Leicester beat the same team in both the 1963 semi-final and the 1969 fifth round. Name them.
West Brom.
It was Liverpool. Which Leicester forward? Leicester City. Good solid start there. 9 points. Well played. That's a measure of how far they think they can go. They look disappointed with 9 points. Manchester United. Let's see how you do. OK, Carl,
Yep.
You'll be getting the first question and your time starts now. Which club beat United at Old Trafford in the Champions League game in October this season?
Deportivo.
Correct. And also this season, who missed a penalty against United at Old Trafford in November in the league?
Sheringham.
Muzzy is it? Who captained United to an FA Cup final victory for the only time in 1994?
Steve Bruce.
Correct. Who received his marching orders in the World Club Championship game with Nick Saxon? Correct. Which club took United to an FA Cup semi-final replay in 1995 before losing 2-0?
Crystal Palace.
Correct. On the day the club clinched the Premiership title in April last year, which player made his debut for the club?
Terry Cook.
Andy Gorham. Which club did United defeat by a single goal to win the Toyota Cup in 1999?
Palmeiras.
Correct. William Prunier played for the club whilst on loan from which club?
Bordeaux.
Correct. Who was the only player to score both for and against Liverpool in the Premiership games with United?
Ince.
Correct. Which club played United in 4 seasons in the FA Cup from 1990 to 1993 inclusive?
Sheffield United.
That's correct. Only 2 men have scored in a European Championship Cup final against United, Mario Basler and
Koeman.
Jaime Graca. Against which club did United win their first post-war FA Cup final?
Blackpool.
Correct. Who was the only player to score 4 goals in league matches for United in the 1970s?
Alan Gowling.
Correct. Against which club did Scottish international Jim Holton break a leg in December?
Sheffield Wednesday.
Southampton. From which club did United sign Niki Ivanovic in 1980?
West Ham Belgrade.
That's correct. Well done, Manchester United. Good start. 11 points. Well played. On to Wycombe, who haven't wandered along just to make up the numbers. They want to win this. And we're going to start with you, Chris. Yep. And so your questions on your own club start now. A record league gate of 9,250 at Adams Park this season saw Wycombe lose 2-0 to which side? Correct. Last season's FA Cup hero Roy Essendar came to Wycombe from which club?
Motherwell.
It was Rushton and Diamonds. In February 2002, who scored his third goal in 3 games for Wycombe after
Sean
returning? Correct. Which was the first team to score 4 goals against Wycombe at Adams Park in Division 2 this season?
Blackpool.
Correct. Last season, which side did Wycombe beat 4-3 on aggregate in the first round of the League Cup?
Barnet.
Correct. In the 1996-97 season, which side beat Wycombe 2-0 at Adams Park in the FA Cup third round?
Bradford City.
Correct. Former Rangers and England under-21 international Chris Vinicum came to Wycombe from which club?
Burnley.
Correct. Which player scored 26 goals for Wycombe in the 1988-89 season?
Mark West.
Correct. Who scored a hat-trick for Wycombe against Stockport in a 4-1 home win in February?
Miguel Sousa.
It was John Williams. Who played over 600 games for Brentford before moving to Wycombe on a free in March 1999?
Jamie Bates.
That's correct. Against which side were 3 Wycombe players dismissed in a 1-0 home defeat in a league game in November 1996?
Preston North End.
Correct. In the Vauxhall Open League in 1986-87, which side did Wycombe beat 7-1 at home and 4-0 away?
Sutton United.
It was Walthamstow Avenue. Who was the manager of Wycombe between 1984 and 1986?
Alan Gane.
Paul Bence. Which was Wycombe's first home ground used in 1887?
Rye Meadow.
That's correct. Well done, Wycombe Wanderers. 10 points. Well played. That's the first round over with, but which of the sides have not listened to their coach's advice? Well, at the moment, that would be Leicester City. They've got 9 points, but just ahead of them are Wycombe with 10, but Manchester United are the early leaders with 11 points. Well played. Whilst they're smiling, let's see if I can upset them. Blanc. Has he lived up to expectations?
Well, there's a stopgap, perhaps, yes.
But that's all.
That's all, yeah.
It's funny, isn't it? You know, because his credentials are absolutely second to none.
He's 36.
Do you think that's what it is? Just
Yeah,
too
he's
old?
a great footballer, but a bit too slow, I think.
Just too much pace in the Premiership.
We've got to
already.
replace Yapstam.
Yeah, that is the big deal, isn't it? Okay, well, thanks for that, Manchester United. Time now for the video round. Yes, round 2, the video round. We play our teams 30 seconds of top-notch footy, and they then use their superb memories, we shall see, to answer questions on what they've just seen. The questions could relate to anything in the clip, so you cannot afford to miss the smallest of details. Answers through your captain, and I will only accept your first answer. But we know that by now, don't we, Manchester United? And of course, fellas, there are a maximum of 8 points on offer. OK? Get those specs on, Paul, because here comes our little trip down memory lane. All right, take all that in. Let's find out, shall we? Your time starts now. On which European ground is the goal in the first clip scored?
Roma's.
Yes, I'll give you that. Stadio Olimpico. And who is the Italy and Lazio striker who nutmegs the goalkeeper to score?
Inzaghi.
Correct. Who is the England player who scores with an excellent
Shannon.
flying head? Correct. Who is the player that crosses the ball for Sharon to
Keegan.
head home? It's McFarland. The goal scored in the third clip is scored on which ground?
Manogram.
Correct. Alan Lee scores that goal at the Manogram, but for which team is Lee playing?
Rotherham.
Correct. With which club was Roy McFarlane playing where he won all his 28 England caps?
Derby.
That's correct. Mick Shannon. Great scoring as usual in this round, Manchester United. 6 points. Well played. On to Wycombe Wanderers. Are you ready, fellas? Yep. OK. Let's have a little wander down memory lane. Here you go. Some good bits and some embarrassing bits there. Let's hope your answers are all good ones. Not embarrassing. You ready? Your time starts now. In the first clip, who was the Chelsea player of the season's excellent
Zola.
strike? Correct. Can you name the Dutch ground or city in which Zola scores that goal
Rotterdam.
for Chelsea? Correct. Fine on. Who is the Scotsman that sees his weak
Peter
effort?
Dalglish.
Correct. Who is the England goalkeeper?
Clements.
That's correct. Can you name the team who conceded a goal in the third clip?
Reading.
Correct. Bristol City are the team who scored that goal after a good cross. Who is the City striker who
24.
scores? Correct. Gianfranco Zola was bought from Chelsea from Parma. From which Italian club did Parma sign him? A club where he picked an Italian
Fiorentina.
It's Napoli. Kenny Dalglish is Scotland's most capped player with 102. He won his caps while with Liverpool, and you know it was going to be Celtic. But Wycombe Wanderers, good scoring again. 6 points, well played. So it's 6 all round so far. Let's see if Leicester can do any better than that. It'll take some doing, but you lads can do it. We'll find out, shall we? First of all, though, let's have a little look at some video clips. All right, much discussion there. Was it worth it? We'll find out. Your time starts now. Who are the Italian teams seen scoring through a lob goal?
Lazio.
Correct. Who is the former Lazio player who scores that well-executed
Ron.
lob? Correct. On which ground is the goal in the second clip scored?
Hampton Park.
It's Wembley. Who is the England player who hammers that
Gary
shot?
Francis.
That's correct. Who are the teams seen scoring in the third clip after a good cross?
Nottingham Forest.
It's Barnsley. And who is the Barnsley striker that avoids the offside trap to
Bruce
score?
Dyer.
Correct. Lazio signed Herman Crespo for a world record transfer fee from which Italian club?
Fiorentina.
It was Parma. Jerry Francis has managed Leicester only 4 points. Hey, that's good enough. Don't you worry. Well played. With the first 2 rounds over, who is setting the early pace and who is finding the pitch cutting up under them? Well, at the moment, Leicester are trailing with 13 points. Then we have Wycombe with 16 points, but Manchester United are still out in front with 17 points. Well played. I'm off to check me studs and a slice of orange, but make sure you are back in your seat for the start of the second half. As in this game, anything can happen, and usually does. See you in a minute. And a warm welcome back to the second half of Do I Not Know That? Before we get underway, let's see if there's any new faces in the lineup. Leicester City, any change over here, Colin?
Not just yet.
No, you wouldn't dare substitute your brother, I know that for nothing. And George is too good. OK, Manchester United, any substitutions over here?
Chris has gone for a lie down, so Andrew stepped in.
Welcome, Andrew, good luck. You like that, don't you? And Wycombe Wanderers, any subs over here?
No changes there.
No? Who's been your best player this season then, eh?
Michael Simpson, Chris Vinicum,
Yeah.
or Martin Taylor.
No, I didn't ask. Who's been the best player this season?
Simpson.
Simpson, yeah.
It's
Everyone
very
seems
difficult to
agree with
split
that.
them.
Where does he play?
Michael
Centre
Simpson.
midfield.
Hey?
Centre midfield.
Yeah, and he's running the game for you, is he?
Yeah.
Yeah? OK, thank you very much for that. Anyway, the managers have played their cards, but will they end up being a joker or an ace? Each team nominates one player to go under the spotlight. That player can choose any area of football history and has 60 seconds to answer as many questions as they can on their chosen subject. As usual, you can't pass. So, back to Wycombe Wanderers. Can I ask you please, Dale, who will be your specialist team player?
Yeah, I'm going to give it a stab.
Go on, the manager, get up here. Dale Herman, join me on the penalty spot. Now, Wycombe finished the first phase in second place in Group G with 138 points, 12 points behind leaders Rochdale. They scored an average of 11.75 points in their home team round, the 4th highest in the first phase. That's impressive. And in their first phase specialist round, they were scoring an average of 9.25. We need to do better in this phase, mate.
Certainly do.
Let's see if we can. Your chosen subject is Wycombe Wanderers, 1991-92 season, and your time starts now. Which player top scored with 18 goals in the
Keith
conference?
Scott.
Correct. Who kept goal in all 4?
Paul Hyde.
Correct. Wycombe's best away win in the conference was 5-0
Redbridge
against...
Forest.
Correct. Which fellow non-league side did beat Wycombe in the first round proper of the FA Cup?
Kettering Town.
Correct. And who scored Wycombe's goal in the 1-1 draw at Kettering in the first...
Dave Carroll.
That's correct. A season's best home crowd of 6,035. Correct. Which side inflicted Wycombe's biggest defeat of the season in the
Macclesfield
conference?
Town.
3-0 in December. It's Colchester United. Which side did Wycombe beat 2-1 on aggregate in the final of the Bob Lord?
Rancorn.
Correct. And who scored the crucial second goal in the second leg?
Mallon of Rancorn.
It was Steve Guppy. Who was the only outfield player to appear in all 42 games in the conference for Wycombe?
Glenn Creaser.
That's correct. Which side beat Wycombe both home and away in the conference during the season?
Macclesfield and
Correct.
Colchester.
Which player scored 10 goals in just 11 starts in the conference for the Wanderers?
Dennis Green.
Correct. Who scored just 4 goals for Wycombe in the conference, but top scored for the club with 3 goals in the Bob Lord Challenge Trophy?
Steve Guppy.
Simon Hutchinson. The Wanderers' best home win was 6-1 against which side?
Telford United.
That's correct. Hey, Dale, great score, 11 points, and thanks for correcting me. Okay, a great start to this round. Let's see if Leicester City can emulate that kind of performance. Can I ask you, please, Colin, who will be your specialist team player?
It'll be me.
Oh, the manager's taking on over here as well. Colin Hall, join me on the penalty spot. Now, Leicester City got to the second phase by winning Group C by 1 point from Hull City. They collected more points than Liverpool, even though Liverpool won all 4 of their matches, compared to only 3 victories by Leicester. The Foxes' highest specialist round score was 11 points. They achieved this, though, on 3 occasions, which is good, solid scoring, mate, OK? Your specialist chosen subject is Julian Joachim at Leicester 1992 to 1996, and your time starts now. Against which team in only a second game did Joachim score his first goal for the Foxes?
Peterborough.
Birmingham City. Julian scored 1 goal for the club at Wembley against whom?
Swindon.
Correct. In January 1993, Joachim scored in successive league games with a goal in a 1-1 draw with Notts County, coming a week after he scored in a 5-2 win.
Watford.
Correct. Julian scored his first goal in the Premier League for the Foxes on the opening day of the 94-95.
Newcastle.
Correct. Against which team did he score twice in a game?
Spurs.
It was Southend in Leicestershire. Which manager signed Joachim for Aston Villa in February?
Little.
Correct. Joachim's only goal for the club in the FA Cup came in 92-93.
Barnsley.
Correct. Against which team did Julian make his 99th and final league appearance for the Foxes?
Portsmouth.
Correct. Against which country did Julian make his debut for England under-21s in March 19...
Portugal.
It's Denmark. 2 of Julian's 3 goals for the Foxes in the Premiership came against which team?
Spurs.
Correct. Julian came on as substitute in March 1994 to make his 50th league appearance for the club against which team?
Sunderland.
Millwall. For whom did Julian come on as substitute in the 1994 playoff final?
Roberts.
Oh, just out of time there, only just. But Colin, 7 points. Good solid scoring. Well played. On to United. Paul, can I ask you, please, who will be your specialist team player?
OK, the Welsh Tourist Board have asked me to let Andrew do this one.
Come on, Andrew Edwards from the Welsh Tourist Board. Join me on the penalty spot. That's why he brought him on. Now, United won 3 out of their 4 opening group games as they stormed to the title of Group A winners. In the buzz-around, they collected a total of 49, but that was the 4th highest total of all the teams in the first round phase. OK, Andrew, step up to the mic, mate. OK, you ready? Your chosen subject is Manchester United's 2000-2001 championship season, and your time starts now. Terry Sheringham scored a hat-trick against Southampton in a 5-0 win in October. Who scored the other 2?
Cole.
Correct. Which Chelsea player scored twice at Old Trafford in a 3-3 draw in September?
Could you repeat the question?
Which Chelsea player scored twice at Old Trafford?
Flo.
Correct. For a tackle on which player was Roy Keane sent off in last season's Manchester derby? At
Howie.
Is Haaland. Against which team did Mikel Silvestre score his first goal?
Leicester.
Correct. Who scored United's first goal of last season?
Brett Johnson.
Correct. Against which team did United record their last league win of the season?
Middlesbrough.
Correct. Who finished as runners-up to Teddy Sheringham, the club's leading scorer in the club game with 10 goals, 5 less than the England forward?
Solskjaer.
Correct. Who was sent off in the club's League Cup win at Watford in October?
Van der Howe.
Correct. Against which club did Paul Rakuka make his only league appearance last
Leicester
season?
City.
Correct. United scored only 2 penalties in the league last season. Teddy Sheringham scored against Manchester City, who also netted from the spot in the campaign.
David Beckham.
Correct. Which man scored in both United's League Cup games last season?
Solskjaer.
Dwight York. Hey, a good score, Andrew. 9 points. Well played. As we enter the home stretch, which team are firmly in the groove? Leicester City have 20 points. Manchester United have 26 points, but Wycombe have wandered into the lead. They're ahead with 27 points. Well played. Well, let's see if there's been any substitutions made for this final round. Manchester United, any subs over here?
Christie's back on after his lie down.
Fair enough. Are you rested, mate?
Just about.
OK, thank you for that. Wycombe Wanderers, any changes over here?
Yeah, we've brought Ian on for Ed.
Why is that, mate?
Bit of experience.
Yeah,
for
fair
the,
enough.
buzz
Experience. I think he's trying to say you're hard, mate. Thanks for that. Leicester City, any changes over here?
Following on, some fresh legs for a Grand Slam finish.
Yep. Listen, okay, things haven't gone that well for City this season. But who's been like kind of the shining light in amongst the gloom?
We've had one or two young players who have come through, Matt Piper, Jordan Stewart. Hopefully next season they'll improve and become really established players.
Right. Have they come through the ranks or were they brought in?
No, they come through the youth team.
Have they got a good youth team policy at Leicester, do you think?
Yeah, well, I think in the next few years we're going to have to, if we're going to regain former glories.
Yeah, sure enough, because they're not going to have the same budget, are they? That's a fact. Yeah. Okay, thanks very much indeed for that, Leicester City. Time now for the buzz around. We have 90 seconds of quick-fire footy questions. Get the question right and your team gets 2 points. Get one question wrong, your team picks up a yellow card. 2 questions wrong in this round, your team sees red, which is a point off. Every further incorrect answer is a point deducted. And as usual, teams, your name out, because you can give the answer away. Okay, it's tight as usual as we enter the buzz around, which starts now. Which manager coached Benfica to a European Cup? Wycombe Wanderers. It was Sven-Goran Eriksson was going to be the answer. In 1988, who became the first goalkeeper to captain an FA Cup final winning side? Leicester City.
Dave Besan.
Correct. Which man has FA Cup winners' medals in the last 3 decades? In the 80s, 90s?
Dennis Wise.
Correct. Who managed different sides in the FA Cup finals of 1997 and 1999? That's Leicester City.
Ruud Gullit.
Correct. Which Spanish side plays at the Razor Stadium?
Deportivo La Coruña.
That's correct. In 1979, which side became the first club to successfully defend the League Cup? That's Leicester City.
Nottingham Forest.
Correct. Which side won the first of their 4 successive League Cup finals in Wycombe Wanderers?
Liverpool.
Correct. Which Scottish club reached the semi-finals of the European Cup in 1984?
Dundee United.
Correct. Which Scottish international forward can count Elgin, Shrewsbury, Bury, Millwall and Bolton? That's Leicester City.
John McGinley.
That's correct. In 1995, which player was voted FIFA World Player of the Year, African Player of the Year and European? Manchester
George
United?
Weah.
That's correct. Which former Derby County player made his England debut against Italy in November 2000 and signed for Leeds this season?
Seth Johnson.
That's correct, Wycombe. Which club were TV pundits Barry Venison and Ali McCoy's once teammates? Wycombe?
Sunderland.
Correct. Which famous 1989 FA Cup giant killers played at Gander Green Lane? That's Manchester United. That's correct. Which ground did England beat Albania in a World Cup qualifying match? Manchester
Newcastle United, St James Park.
Correct. Which country scored a record 27 goals in 1954? That's Leicester.
Hungary.
We're out of time. You were going to get it. No, you were. It was Hungary, but well played the teams. Another great game. Well, that's it. I can't add it up on my fingers, but which teams kept playing until the final whistle? Let's find out. Leicester City finished with 30 points. Wycombe Wanderers with 33, but Manchester United kept going all the way. They are today's high scorers with 36 points. Well played. It's all over. The scores are in. But how does that affect the league placings?
Hello, Simon. In spite of their Premiership status, United were pushed all the way by those cunning Foxes and the underdogs Wycombe before United secured a victory in their opening game. The Wanderers of Wycombe can be mighty proud of their efforts, finishing with 33 points, as they refused to allow United to run away with the game. After the match, the Foxes and the Red Devils were awarded an extra point by the appeals panel as Group 2 starts to hot up.
And don't forget, for full details on how all 36 teams in those 4 leagues, including your own particular favourites, are doing, visit our website at www.itv.com/football. 3 more sides have taken a step towards claiming the ultimate football supporters crown. But there is still plenty of football left to play. Join me next time when I'll be joined by 3 more sides, all hoping they won't be saying, "Do I not know that?" Well played the teams. Well done, Manchester United.
At this stage, we'd like to think we can get to a semi-final, but we're not thinking any further than that because the standard is so high. We know Wimbledon and Barnet are very good.
The difference in the second group phase as opposed to the first is that all the teams are really know their stuff now. And so there's no great difference in quality between the team's knowledge. So you're taking points off each other. So hopefully it won't take too many points to get through.
Okay, congratulations, Dale. Excellent specialist round, and good luck for the rest of the competition.
Thank you very much. I'll set this on behalf of the players for that season. They deserve this.